and now we're going to deal with this final piece of the bathroom, which is the door. So we're going to go ahead and hide out the elements like this one. Now, I want the door to both open and close, so it's going to be from the same thing. But, you know, we don't really have any kind of a real hinge joint going on here, and I don't want to add a hinge joint that's going to let you see through it. So instead, what I'm going to do is grab these edges here on the sides. We're going to bevel them, and I'm going to look at that really fast and see how bad that is. We're going to do something like this, I think. And at least that way, it's understood that it's a kind of a push through, turn back and forth thing. We're not going to put in any kind of screws or any kind of mechanical elements that'll make that proper, but it should be good enough for what we're doing. We're going to right click and go to multi-cut tool, and we're going to cut from here to here, and we're going to go to the bottom and do the same cut again. And it's probably going to yell at me because it's right up against the floor, but whatever, that's good enough. And we could try to go to the other side with this, but you know what? Actually, maybe we could. So why don't we go ahead and bevel like that on both sides. Not quite the same, but similar. And now we can go ahead and do an F8 and a multi-cut tool and do from there to there, and from there to there. And we're going to go to the bottom now. We're going to hide out the bottom. So let's go Control H, do the same thing again. And once again, this is just about making sure that the seams in our cuts are, you know, satisfactory. Do that there. Whoops, that's not what I want. Go from there to there, enter, and good. All right, so now we've got the front and back sides of our door. We might as well go ahead and unwrap this. So let's bring our UVs out, and we'll do a UV planer, and we're going to come at this from the X-axis, it looks like. And we're probably going to grab these faces right here, right-click and grow selection, grow. And that's going to grow it out. And now we have our door panels. So now we can go ahead and create UV shell, grab both of these, move them off, move the other one off, grab both, unfold, and orient, both oriented improperly, but that's okay. We can just flip them. And if we want to, we can also go in here, and not like it really matters for this, but if we wanted to, we could go in here and cut these down to further reduce distortion. And do a cut, unfold, unfold, and there you go. And orient. And that's pretty good. All right, so now we just have the door itself. And I'm almost thinking about putting a cut right down the center of this door. Once again, it's another piece of geometry that's not necessary, but it's just going to make our life easier. And sometimes that's what you really got to care about. So we're going to do that. Go here, grab this, right click, cut, and grab both shells, unfold each one, orient, and now we just need to go in here and figure out what the heck is going on. So we need to cut out these elements here so that it unfolds properly. And I'm not exactly sure, so we're going to kind of wing this a little bit, but I think it's going to be something like this. The one side might be wrong. That's because I didn't bevel them the same on each side, but we'll see what happens in just a second when we do this. So we can do that, and we can do this, cut, right click, and unfold. And that's better. Let's orient that. And let's take a look at what's going on inside. And you know what? That's looking fine. That's looking fine. That's okay, and that's okay. So I think we're fine with what I did. So we might as well take both of these now and lay out. Let's go ahead and let's translate, rotate is fine. Preserve 3D ratio is fine. Hit apply and let's see what happens. Okay, so it did this nonsense where it flips the doors. So we're going to go ahead and rotate everything clockwise, and we're going to try to fill this out as best we can. And I'm guessing that's in the UV, no, it's not. Okay, so we're gonna grab everything, layout UVW, and we're gonna turn off rotate shells and just translate them. And you know what, that's fine. So long as things are proper, I don't care. Now we can go ahead and export this out and bring it into Substance Painter. So File, Export Selection, up to SP, Textures, and let's just call this Bathroom Door. Well, these are whatever. I'm gonna call it Bathroom Door there, go up, and call this Bathroom Door underscore, just Bathroom Door Male. Because there's going to be a female version, and we're going to have to put some kind of a sign. I don't know if it's going to be on the door or somewhere else. We'll find out later on. So we've got this. So we've exported everything right now. So all we need to do now is go into Substance, File, New, select Bathroom Door Male. Might as well do 2048. Hit OK. And wow, not quite what I was expecting. So we have some sort of an instancing going on here. So let's go to, we need to break that. So edit, delete by type history, and we need to check everything else too on this object. So why don't we go ahead and, we got to rotate. So modify, freeze transform, apply, close. Rotate's still there, which means we've got instances. And we need to break that. So how do we break that? So Maya break instance. I know it's something. I just can convert, modify, convert instance to object. Modify, convert instance to object. All right, so now we can go to modify, freeze transforms, apply, close, we're good, file, and export selection, Bathroom Door Male, file, new. We're just going to do new because I don't want to deal with all that crap. So door male, 2048, okay, discard, and now we should just have this. And now it's up to us to create the door and figure out what it's going to look like. Now the only part that I have in my head right now is the door push part, which is going to be some sort of an aluminum. So let's just do metal. And we can do, I'm going to do iron rough as usual because I just prefer the character of it. And we're going to right click on this and go to black mask and use, let's see, the UVs should not, UV, let's see, black mask, UVU, UVU. Now that's all good to go. Now I just need to figure out what the door is going to look like. And I actually have no idea what I should make this look like. It's probably going to have something to do with the general theme of the bathroom, which is a black tile. But yeah, I actually have no idea what I want this to look like. So I'm actually going to take a quick break in my video and think about this, and I'll come back in just a second, which it's not a second, but it's a second to you, and we'll figure the rest of this stuff out. All right, so unfortunately, I didn't record what I was doing, and a lot of that has to do with me just playing around, and I'm still not 100% happy with the door, but I think this is good enough for what we have. So we've got, of course, the iron texture put on this area right here. We have two different textures actually making up the door that I really liked. We have, let's see, let's turn some of these off so I can show you what's going on here. So of course there's the rough iron right there. We actually have two different rough iron layers. One there that's nice and glossy, or I should say reflective, and then another one over here that's got roughness to it. And the idea there is that kids have put their hands all over this thing and have kind of messed it up. So that's what's going on right there. And then we go to the next layer right here, and this is a layer of bronze hexagon tiles. So if we look that up, hexagon, that actually looks like this right here, which is very weird and different, but I like the pattern that it provided. So I put that in there, turned off pretty much everything about it, except for the fact that it's contributing a tiny bit of height and a tiny bit of normal to my overall texture. And then if we come up a little bit higher, we've got the plastic diamonds, which is what I really liked. These little diamonds like here give it a nice little texture to it when it was made. I don't know why, but it reminds me of Pee-wee's Playhouse, something about it. I'm not sure what exactly, But we've got that and the other pattern together, which I think kind of gives it some interesting character. And then on top of that, we have, let's see, that does nothing. And then we have a slight rust layer with the rust turned black or dark gray. And that's just down towards the bottom so that it looks like someone actually, didn't necessarily take their time in cleaning. And actually, I think I'm going to make a few changes. Let's go to trial and error just so that things end up a little bit better. And I think I am going to tone this down ever so slightly on some of these layers. Just because, I'm not trying to go for a place that's completely fallen apart. Oh, that's a big one, the roughness. So, yeah. And I think that's good enough. It gives it just a little bit of something without it being crazy. And with that, why don't we go ahead and export out our textures? So go ahead and go to File, Export Textures. This is called Thong, unfortunately. So let's rename this to, what was bathroom door? _M. I'm going to double click that, copy it, and when we go to Maya, we might as well go ahead and, let's see, is that a new texture? I don't know. Let's just add a new one. Thong, and there we go. Enter, save, and go to File, Export Textures, find our location, and bathroom door, select folder, and export. And I exported out the wrong stuff, so let's hit cancel really fast. Let's go to Unity 5 occlusion and hit export. Open the folder up. Just make sure we don't have extra crap anywhere. So what do we have? We have albedo, base color shouldn't be here. Metallic smoothness. Metallic should go. We need metallic smoothness, normal, occlusion, and roughness. And you know what? Actually, I'm kind of concerned that I screwed that up. I'm just going to do that again. And it just takes a few seconds, and that way I know I have the right textures. Hit OK. We can go ahead and close out of this now, save, and we can go ahead and bring everything now over into Unity. So why don't we go ahead and go to Display, Show All, and we've got our door there, and I believe that's everything. So we can go to File, Game Exporter, and choose Mail Room 01, hit Yes, let that happen. Okay, and let's open up Unity and also move those textures over. So open up Unity Hub. I use Unity Hub because I have multiple different versions of Unity on my computer, and this just keeps me organized with different projects across different platforms. So now we can come over to bathroom door, right click, and I believe it's just the door, right? And the mirror maybe. So bathroom door and bathroom mirror. Copy both of these. Let's go to the project folder, assets, and levels, level, men's room, and textures, and paste both of these here. Looks like I already had the mirror in there, but that's fine. Just let it override it. Close this. Let this happen here. Now let's grab our mirror. Actually, we're going to have to go to the original file and export out those materials, since by default they're not going to be they're going to be stuck in the actual file. So here we can go to extract materials, and hit select. We have no texture, so that doesn't matter. And let's go to textures now and start mapping these properly. So we can open up our bathroom mirror, make that 100%, and we can go to mirror, M-I-R-R, and we should just be able to. I wish this window would stay open for multiple files. That would be nice, although I'm sure there's a way of doing that I'm just not doing. Mirror, occlusion, there we are. And of course it's black right now because our reflection probe hasn't been baked yet, so it doesn't know what kind of data to put in the scene. So just wait a second and we'll get to that, okay? We're gonna pump that up to white. We're then gonna go to door. So we have bathroom door male, and then door, bathroom door metallic. That's really good right there. Door, normal, that adds a ton of interesting character to this. And then door and occlusion, which isn't going to add much of anything really. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and do a quick bake so that we can see what our scene is actually going to be like. And actually, part of me wants to take one of these toilets and move them up vertically, but we'll get to that just because when you have a kids restaurant like this, you're going to have like 2 children's urinals and then one urinal that's higher up than the rest. But that's a small detail we can do at another time. let's go ahead and bake some stuff. So let's go to rendering, lighting settings, scroll on down, and instead of generate lighting, I want to do bake reflection probes. Now, baking reflection probes isn't going to take nearly as much time as baking everything in the entire scene, so this shouldn't be too long. So we're going to go ahead and try baking the scene. So this says I have 1 hour and 35 minutes left to bake this scene. That's insane, and I highly doubt it's going to take that long to bake everything. It's already dropped down to 57 minutes. So I'm just going to sit back and I'll cut out this, and we'll jump back in once things are done. All right, now we're all done with the bake, and you know, it's acceptable. There are definitely things we can probably do to make this come across a little bit more interesting. I mean, the door itself doesn't look terribly interesting. Maybe some molding around it or something. Maybe some kind of picture frames on the walls to showcase where we're actually at, to make it a little bit more interesting. So we got our big old mirror here now, which is reflecting the box, but it's not doing it at runtime. So that's something we'll have to change as well. But at least it's kind of a mirror. It looks a little off though, based on where our reflection probe is, but it's something. You know, it's a little dark in here. We can probably brighten things up as well, but I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go with kind of late night stuff. Might be cool to put it, we might want an exit sign or something that's in a deep red to indicate where you're supposed to go. And that could be something we use inside the lighting to indicate, you know, a danger zone. And we might, you know, maybe the male side will look like this, but then the female side over here will actually incorporate something like that to make it more interesting looking as well. But anyway, for the most part, it's okay. Now, there are some things that are obviously going to need, you know, fixing. It looks like these are okay. No, the pivots on those are wrong right there. So actually, I should make probably a list. So where's sticky notes? So let's open that up really fast. So we've got a couple things. One is male bathroom. We have pivots bad on doors for toilet. Then we have the ceiling. Ceiling tiles have wrong texture on sides. And I'm just going to write stucco, even though I know it's not stucco. That's just what my brain thinks of it as. And it probably needs additional, I'm going to call it flair. Flair such as photos or something to make it less clinical looking, because it's very hospital, everything gets cleaned at the end of the day kind of looking right now, and we could probably get away with making things look a little bit more interesting. And once again, that's not the aim of this particular set of videos. We're just getting everything in there. We've set up the UVs and so forth so that we can go in and create separate textures for each of these walls, add maybe, you know, some kind of interesting Easter eggs, you know, handwritten stuff and whatnot. But that's, like I said, that's for next time. Or maybe change these urinals a little bit so that there's stains inside of it or something else. But all in all, this is a pretty good start for making this room look like an actual room as opposed to, you know, everything else we've been doing so far. This is so dark, this mirror. And, yeah, you know, I approve of this as a beginning point. You know, I could also put maybe some water stains on the floor. Maybe we can create a texture or something on a quad and make it so that looks a little bit different. But maybe some footprints, some dirt, something to make this a little bit less like a hospital room. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We jumped around a lot, but ultimately we got everything done on our bathroom. I don't know what I'm going to dive into next. I kind of did this on a whim because I had been doing some work that was like this. Yeah, we're just going to see where I go from here. And I'll see you next time. So long, everyone, and goodbye.